Much better. I think whenever I see, and it's happened before, whenever I see Ankit, I feel like he's like an anchor. So it's comfort. It's home. That's what it is. When I saw him, I was a little emotional, but not stressed. And now we've been having fun. It's good. Yeah.
So let's go backwards. So how was it when you met him for the first time? I wanted to know that feeling, or how was it that night?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever told him exactly how much I also thought he was fun. But, okay, so we had one really fun, night where we enjoyed a lot and we had fun. And we were not seeing each other. We weren't even friends. It was just a really nice night. It was a farewell party for him, actually, for his batch. But then after that day, we basically wished each other on our birthdays every year. We didn't speak for a couple of years till I graduated from college. But somehow, I always felt like there was something with that guy. There's something special. And I may or may not wish random people on their birthdays, but I always wished him. And I maybe wanted an excuse to talk to him. It was just something that you just know. I didn't know, but I knew. You know? It just felt right. So when we did finally have a proper conversation with each other at work, and I was his intern. Yeah, it
How
was
was
just...
it like in office? How was it like?
So it was funny because when I was interning, we would sit in the same bay, so he and I would be able to see each other throughout the day. And I really wanted to get a job there. You know, I had been aiming to get a job at that particular law firm for a while. So I actually switched my desk to another floor for 2 weeks because I felt like he's distracting me, and I was so distracted by him. He used to plan, I'm pretty sure he did this for me, I'm so sure. But he planned a little potluck party for the people who sit only there. In a law firm of 100 people or so, 10 of us had our own potluck party. So I'm pretty sure he did that for me. Yeah, and it was very natural. We just talked, and then we went out for dinner one night, and we were just together after that. There was no conversation of, oh, are we committed to each other, or are we not seeing anyone else. It was just natural. We didn't have to have a conversation like that. Yeah. So it's something that my friends have said to me that has also stuck with me, is that sometimes they feel like I bring some stability to chaos in their lives, and that is exactly what Ankit does for me. So if there is a moment there is a scene in Harry Potter where Dumbledore takes out his thoughts and he puts it in a pensieve, that is Ankit for me. If I ever need just a moment of clarity, that's the person I'll go to. And I didn't need to be dating him for that. That's just the person he is. I think he does that to everyone around him. He brings a sense of stability. There's this thing about him where we really miss his Nani Nana not here. Dadi Dada thankfully here. I'm so happy about that. But we really miss his Nani Nana also. And they have a car that's just lying there outside their house. Without thinking twice, Ankit will be the person who will drive the car so that the battery doesn't run out, or the engine doesn't, whatever. He's thinking about a stationary car. That's the person he is. He will be the person in the background who is making your life comfortable. And that's just that's how can you wish for something more than that?
Okay, yeah, so yeah,
We'll continue from where we left. Okay?
Yeah. I am very blessed to have so many people who love me and who've been messaging me and sending me so much love. And I know that everybody wanted to be here, and my own Nani, I really miss her so much. And my Mamijis are working through my bhabis, but like I want to say that I am very lucky and I'm very grateful that I could do this. And I had everybody to send me so much love. And it means a lot to me that everybody could be here. I want to say for Ankit that he said something to me when he proposed to me. He said that even in... Do I wait? He proposed to me and he said that if we had a long day that day, and he said if even on days like this I can come back and look at you and feel so happy, I feel like we can conquer anything else in the world. And it really hit me when he said that, because I realized that that's exactly what it means to me as well. He and I have gone through a lot, and we have consistently come back to each other without missing a beat. We might take a day, we might take 2 days, but we are very clear on what our priorities are. And I just think that he is a really great partner. And yeah, I am very lucky to have him in my life.
so when did you think that he's the one? So
When did I think he's the one?
like what
Was there a
instant?
moment, or it was like a duration, slowly?
It was always a feeling, but he knows about that one farewell party that we had a lot of fun at, and it was just effortless fun. So even though I didn't know it then, it stuck with me, and when we did finally get to be with each other in office and all that, it clicked. It just clicked. It was really, it felt right.
So if I ask you, one like unique thing about him.
One what thing?
Unique.
Unique thing about him.
Yeah.
Or one unique thing which you like the most about him?
Yeah. Okay, it is again something that something I really love about him is his childlike nature, in the sense that he's not a kid when it comes to the important stuff. He's a kid when it comes to just living life. And I love that. He appreciates stupid jokes, and he'll appreciate a good, breaking the tension in the room. And I appreciate that a lot about him, because I can build stress and he breaks it in a second. So he is a kid. He drops food on himself. It is hilarious. But yeah, I really like that, a fact that he can maintain lightness in his being.
Any incident you remembered like this which happened recently, or
I think it's a small moment,
Yeah. Let me think. It's not a moment as much as just a thing he does. There is this really cute baby on Instagram. His name is called Chef Kobe, and he's like a little kid, and his mom gives him ingredients and he dumps them all into a bowl and he cooks. And you can catch Ankit at his most stressed, like the most difficult day, and you show him a video of Kobe, and this guy will, like, his mood will change like that. It is so cute how just showing him a picture of a cute baby can like completely change his mood. It's so funny, it's so random, and it just shows he's got a very caring personality. It just, all of it comes together in this wonderful way.
And you keep saying he's very cute.
Yeah, he is.
Which is that one thing, the cutest?
Okay. Don't okay. I will say it. I think it's cute, but I tell him that it's annoying. And he has this thing where if I'm ever doing this or this, moving my hands, he'll end up giving me a high five. Again, it's like a thing, it breaks tension, right? It's just like, it is really cute. He'll do these things where his life's mission is to make me watch some movie called Chup Chup Ke, and I'm just like, it is now equally my life's mission to not watch that movie. So we just have a banter, we just have these like things that he does that I appreciate at least.
So, your mother said that when she saw him the second time or something, she came and she told you that he's the one.
Yeah.
So, from that point, when did the, and you said, dekhenge.
No, I always knew.
How did you always
I always knew. I was obviously holding her off because I had a few plans of my own as well. I wanted to do my masters. I wanted to just get a little bit of my own life in check. Like I said, when we met, I was still an intern. So I wanted to work for a couple of years, do my masters. So that was the only reason why I was telling my mom to like, no, I don't know. I'll see. I'll think about it. And she goes, no, don't lose this one. It's a good one. But yeah, I always I'll tell you, there was this one thing. I asked my sister, because Didi and Jiju have been together for a very long time. I said, didn't you ever feel like there could be someone else out there? And she was like, yeah, but I didn't look at it like that. I didn't say that I will not look at that other people aren't good. It's just that nobody is better than Jiju. And it was a perspective that I was like, it's true. There will be somebody else who will have like my taste in music. There will be somebody else who will not make me watch Chup Chup Ke. But somehow none of them as a whole match up to this person. Because he has so many other things about him. Even if one day I do end up watching that stupid movie, there are really, really important things in life, and he gives me those things, which is stability and comfort, and he makes me feel like he's part of my team. And that's what I always knew. I feel like he gave me that sense of comfort from day one.
Was there a moment that you proposed?
I proposed. No, I didn't. You only proposed. I said, dude, my parents are asking me, are you guys going to get married or what? He was like, yeah, let's do it. It's time now.
How did he?
It was very sweet. We decided, so once I got admission into Stanford, I said that this is a good time for me to, I always wanted to do a little bit of a budget trip to Europe on my own. And I said this is a good time as any. And so we decided to go. And there was this really beautiful hotel we were staying at, which was overlooking Mount Vesuvius in Sorrento, and there were lights on the island, and there was like ships in the sea, and that's when he proposed. It was really, really beautiful. I couldn't have asked for anything more. And he played that song "Fools Rush In" by Elvis. It was very sweet.
What was your feeling that day?
It was again. See, this is cute because he thinks he's being clever, but like he's disappeared from the room. We went to the balcony with his bag and everything, so I obviously know something is going on. But he tried to keep it a surprise. It wasn't, but I went up and it still hit me when he said that line, when he said that we can get through anything. It really hit me, and I actually did like cry a little bit. I cry about everything, but I cried, and he could have said anything, but he said that, and it meant a lot to me.
So in all the trips you've been, whenever you out you went,
Yeah.
do you have any memorable interesting moment or funny?
Yeah.
Or you guys both?
There is. We actually, that's the other thing about us, that one of the things that we want to do together is to travel a lot, to see as much as we can. So we've been trying to do that already. And then there was this one point of time when we were in Barcelona, we were driving to the airport after a very long day on the beach in the sun, and he was driving and I was on the passenger seat, and I kept falling asleep. And he has never driven on that the left side of the street before. We just took a car and we started driving, and he's freaking out and he sees me sleeping. He was the most ridiculous thing you could ever do, Anuja, was fall asleep when I'm freaking out next to you. And he's not let me live that down till now. But it was really funny. I was sleepy. I don't care. It was a really fun drive. And then we had all that Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara music playing in the background, and it was super fun. We've had a lot of fun moments. I'm pretty sure I'm finding it hard to choose one.
Any message you want?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it because Bhargavi made a very good point, saying say something that you probably not said to him before. But I've told him everything.
Okay, any
A
promise?
promise. A promise that I've not done. Okay, I can think of that. Yeah. Yeah. I am really excited. See, we have been together for about 5 years now, and what I'm super excited about is the fact that we can finally live together, I guess, and build our life together. We've both been really looking forward to that, to just have a permanent partner to live with, to travel with, to spend small moments daily with. Especially because I've been away for such a long time, and even before that, our schedules have always been very tough. And I think now that we are going to be in the same space, we are looking forward to that a lot. Because we're both very forward-looking in the sense that we both really want to grow. Not only personally, but also professionally. And I think the both of us really contribute to each other's professional growth. Just in terms of support or whatever, but it really makes a difference. So I think that's just something we're really looking forward to, which is unlimited growth and reaching this one space where we can be proud of each other, at least. Definitely personally, but also in our careers.
You have to tell them that Pandit you are Chandigarh again.
Oh gosh, no. You say it in your soundbite.
Yeah, we can sit together.
So the funny thing is, one of the reasons why the mom probably said that he's the one is because she saw the kind of love that Jiju has for Didi. He saw a similar type of affection for me.
More.
She saw a similar type of affection for me.
He's definitely more affectionate.
And you don't have to compare. But the thing is that she saw that and it was spot on. Not only in affection, but he and
Such a
Jiju
jokester.
gelled in a second. They gelled in a second. He follows Jiju around, like everywhere. He went to their house. He saw which perfume.
Okay, so
Jiju-
this boy, he comes
Which-
to this San
which
Francisco,
perfume
San
Jiju
Francisco,
wears?
at San Francisco for the first time. Is living with us. We are on the couch together. We are watching a match, and then we are watching a really
I was
scary
trying not
movie.
to tell a story.
We were watching this really scary movie, and then this horror scene comes, and then we're all like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And then Ankit says, "Oi, chaddiya dag gayi."
You know they're not going to put the same. You don't put the same.
It was so.
And then he
cute.
went to the bathroom and he saw Jiju put Hugo Boss, so he bought Hugo Boss for himself. Then Jiju made margaritas that night, and he was like, "Wow, margaritas are so good." I was like, "You've been having them all your life." Then he went home, came back to India, and specifically bought margarita mix to make margarita. Like,
He just, I think, more than that, it just seemed like he just melded into our family.
yeah,
As if he was always there.
yeah.
So it was never like I just didn't feel odd or oh, we have an additional person. He was just like one of us. So
Yeah.
it was very, very easy.
I'll tell you why that Chadiya Tugga story is actually funny. Is because apparently that's another thing Jiju already says on his own. That's why they found it so funny.
All these boys say chaddiya takai all the time apparently.
What is that?
So Vinay and I just laughed about
Just
it.
call it a veggie like a normal person.
And then cold coffee. Ankit's cold coffee. You have to talk about Ankit's cold coffee obsession, man. Come on.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. So another cute thing about it.
He goes to play golf.
He literally found a specific. He's a corporate lawyer, but he found a very specific litigation matter to go to High Court just to have cold coffee there every day. He goes to play golf so that he can go and have cold coffee. Except he's like he can't tolerate so much protein. So for like 5 days straight he'll have a lot of cold coffee, and then the next 2 days he'll be sick. And then again he'll be fine, and the next 5 days he'll have, I don't know what his obsession
Goes
is.
to golf course, not to play golf, to drink cold coffee. And then he sends us pictures of the cold coffee. And I was like, I thought you went to go play golf. He was like, no, I was just having cold coffee. His cold coffee obsession.
He has
It's
really
nuts.
funny things like this. He's got the cold coffee thing, and he's like, he's non-vegetarian, but he's reduced it a little bit, and he will go to any wedding or whatever, and he'll make friends with the chicken tikka guy. And he'll be like, "Bhaiya, aapka naam batao mujhe." And you know how people do that with alcohol? Don't ever let my glass be empty. He'll be like, never let my tissue be empty of chicken tikka.
Oh, and then I don't know if you guys know, but there is a place called Baba Nagpal, which is like, it's like the richest, really, really yucky chole bhature, which she will kill me to say. It's the richest, so much grease in that chole bhature. And then he basically said, I will buy Baba Nagpal for you. So because she loves that chole bhature from that store. It's like a hole in the wall. And he was like, I will buy that whole place for you because you love it so much, so nobody else can get it. And you can get it beyond 3 p.m. because it shuts at 3 p.m.
So now we have a list of all the stores we are buying stocks in. We are buying stocks at Baba Nagpal. We are buying
Not
stock.
Apple, Google.
We are buying stock at
are buying
Big Chill. We are buying stock at Nirula's. we are buying. We are going to go to these people and say, please, like, give us part ownership of your restaurants.
Only because then they can get food after 3 o'clock. Because 3 o'clock they don't get food right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a jokester.
Yeah. He's super fun.
So, since he's a lawyer, did it help you anyway? Like any memories?
No,
He does something which
Yeah.
is like very lawyerish.
lawyerish. He did that today. I don't know if. So my friends were telling me that they said.
We have to tell them about what he does with DDA. He files all these
Oh
complaints.
gosh. Please go find him on Twitter. He's called @EagleEyes. He only uses his Twitter to file traffic complaints against people breaking traffic rules.
He's making the traffic.
He will take photos of people crossing the crosswalk at a red light and he will upload them and he'll tag Delhi Traffic Police and he'll tag like all the authorities that are relevant. And he'll follow up saying, have you looked at my complaint yet? Now he has like 3-4 apps in which he can make government complaints to fix the roads, to get Kuda picked up. Like, what is that? He uses Twitter just to complain about traffic violations. It's really funny.
The funniest thing is he makes the traffic violations to cover the to actually get the traffic
That
violations.
is not true.
That is true. He told me that one time.
Apne aam. But actually what's also funny is his follow-ups are like, he takes this very lightly. So he goes, so he tweeted somebody had crossed the crosswalk and the authority replied saying this picture is not clear, we don't have the number plate and the crosswalk together in the picture. So he replied to the authority saying, am I supposed to hang upside down like a monkey to get the picture you want? Can't you see it? Just like, why do you have so much time on your hands? Just go to work. Yeah, he who does that? No, he does that. Then during the fairas, Panditji said you have to, if you have any property abroad, you have to ask a permission. If you buy property, he was like, yeah, her and the RBI. Who cares? Then they had a bachelor party,
Oh yeah.
and
Their
literally,
bachelor party.
they literally talked about stocks the whole night. What is that? On one hand, he'll be this kid who said chaddi
I
atak
have to tell
gayi.
you what she did on her bachelorette party. No. Her friends called all her exes.
I'm hoping to share this on Instagram that some of my exes are on there.
They were very sweet about it. So let's keep it at that. But they called. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not.
COVID bachelorettes.
We did funny things. Yeah. So yeah, he has this like very 45-year-old side of him, but then he balances out with this chaddi atak gayi side of him.
I can't believe it. Like his future, sister-in-law is saying, "Didi, meri chaddi atak gayi."
Yeah, it's true.
Just look at her.
Crazy. But yeah, it's
Him and mom bond on. So basically, why we've been cracking these poop jokes is mom and Ankit bond over poop jokes. We all find it disgusting.
She said he doesn't.
He's
What?
lying. He's
He
lying.
said
She has such disgusting poop jokes. I cannot even tell you how bad those are. Every time she's in a very bad mood, if you say poop, she automatically starts laughing.
Oh, so you know, since morning she's been saying 2 jokes. One of them was a poop joke, and the other one was a meow meow joke. And Ankit has outright said that other joke is funnier. So there is no doubt about the fact
They
that
bond on.
their juvenile nature is what has attracted mom to him.
It's very cute.
It's just he does this. He brings a smile to my face.
So, what are you looking forward to after the night? What are you
Lots and lots of traveling. I feel like one of the reasons I'm marrying him is that I have a person I can just go with wherever. I know with like right now we might not be able to go around too much, but
She has okay. Ankit and Hanuja.
Hanuja nahi
Sorry, my throat is bad. Yeah, we've been partying so much. Ankit and Anuja follow this baby on Instagram.
Yeah, I told him.
Kobe. They are obsessed. They even before they got a baby brother, they were like, "Oh, he's expecting a baby brother." I was like, "Guys, chill. That Kobe is like a part of your life. I think they're going to adopt Kobe."
It's not about babies. I genuinely feel like one of the things that I am very excited about is when we started dating. He said one of my like life goals is to have a beach shack and a jeep and one like wine fridge full of wine and beer. I was like, sahi hai ye banda. That's what I want. So I'm looking forward to buying that beach shack, which has one door which you open from the front and one door you open from the back, and you can see the water. I'm looking forward to buying that house.
So guys, you were asking me something funny about Anuja. Anuja plays this game called Sims. So when she came to live with us, she was playing a 100 baby challenge. So there's this character called Sims who has to give birth to 100 babies. And that character, I don't know, superhuman character that is. We were sleeping one night, my husband and I, and then suddenly from nowhere we were hearing these babies cry, like a really scary baby cries. And I went out and I was like, Anuja, what are you doing? And I saw she was playing a computer game where this woman is giving birth to 100 babies. And then suddenly that woman died and she's like, oh my god, my sim died. And I was like, why? She just died of laughter. She did not die of childbirth after giving like birth to 100 babies, but she died of laughter. This is like crazy. If you're traveling anywhere, she's watching videos of that 100 baby challenge and how to get through that. It's ridiculous. When we were driving anywhere, it would be babies crying constantly in that video game. Like, why would somebody want to put themselves through a virtual baby raising, baby birthing game? I just don't get it. Anuja does it. Anuja, can you explain to us why you play that game? 100 baby challenge.
The world knows about
No,
Sims.
no.
Everybody knows.
Everybody
There is
knows
a
about
game called
Sims.
Sims.
But I used to play at 8 when I was
Fine.
Not do the 100 baby challenge.
Fine.
that time I think those options were not there.
Why? Why? the
So,
100
okay,
baby
everybody has their things. I played it.
challenge? Why?
It's okay.
It's really fun. I'll tell you what. I had a little bit of time between my Europe trip, going to Stanford. I had a little bit of time. I said, this challenge looks interesting. So I started playing it. But then what happened was, I got to like 75 or 80 kids and I was just like, now I'm getting really bored. And then I realized watching people play Sims on YouTube is much more fun than actually playing it yourself. And then I discovered a whole new world of YouTube, a whole new section of YouTube after that of just other people playing games. You just watch them for hours. It's okay, everybody has their things. I love that game. You're right, I also played it when I was a kid. But I now watch other people play.
Where you keep telling the ambitious and all. Like
Yeah.
wants
You
to
know,
become.
yeah. It's become so
Like,
like.
give it names. So she would say, what were the names that you give your 100 babies?
I call them your Vidhi, the one which is annoying. I
And
call
then
it
annoying. And on her phone, I'm called annoying sister,
stupid sister,
stupid sibling.
stupid sibling.
And so then she would call some the most annoying baby would be Vidhi. The less annoying one would be Kush. The sweetest one would be Vinay, Jeej. And then she's like, can you just say random names? I want to name my 100 babies. Oh my god. I was just like, this
now-
girl is going to Stanford, but she's birthing 100 babiys at the same time.
I'm not doing it. That's the point between Sims. You have to be very clear. It is not you.
The Sims.
It is a whole different person. It has nothing to do with me. So, I don't have baby fever. I'm not going to have 100 babies. I'm going to have one or two. I'll think about it later. Maybe.
Totally have baby.
I'm waiting for Ankit. He's distant. Go find him.